can say is that the fake news just doesn't get it, do they? Remember when the statues started coming down? I mean, really coming down, especially in 2020. Those old racist white men, you know, like George Washington, Abe Lincoln, people like that, right? All over the place, coming tumbling down. And the mainstream media stood aside, actually supported this, helped glorify it. And that was shameful, utterly shameful. Well, now that all those old statues are gone, they're replacing them, building new statues in their place. And boy, the reviews for the new statues are coming in. People are excited. One just went up in New Orleans, and they're already saying it is about as good as public art gets. It's an Afro-pick sculpture, as good as public art gets. Let's see, what else? The mayor says it's breathtaking. So let's take a look at the new statue in New Orleans. Are you ready? What do we have here exactly? What is this thing? Let me see it again. Take it full, please. Is it a piano? No. Kind of with, it reminds me of an organ. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. All right. I think I do. Yep. Okay. Couple of things going on there. It's an Afro pick. And it is a Black Power sign, and they combined it all together to make a statue that signifies, I guess, an Afro pick and a fist, Black Power, right? I prefer George Washington. I think that's more unifying. I think that's more significant. Don't you? All right. Also this.
Get out of my face.
I'm not in your face. Get out of my neighborhood. This is the cell phone video he captured after he was confronted and surrounded by white neighbors while he was trying to park at his friend's house. He said one of the men, now identified as Howard Hughes, struck his car with a cone and said Donald Corsi threw a large rock through the window.
And he explained the story to me, and I'm like, you mean to tell me that grown men did this to you?
Yes, ma'am. Grown men yelled at your son, and one of them may have thrown a rock at his car when he was speeding through the neighborhood. By all accounts, even your son's account. First of all, here's your son. His name is Jermaine, and he's upset. I understand, okay? He had a traumatic day, a lot of drag racing, and people in the neighborhood did not like that. Can I see the drag racing, please? All right, people are not going to like that kind of driving on a cul-de-sac, all right? They're not going to like it. Back to the news report, please.
His mother called it scary. They believe this was a hate crime. Even though Jermaine's passenger was white, some of the language directed at him by neighbors made him feel discriminated against.
Get out of this neighborhood.
All right.
Get out of this neighborhood.
Wow, get out of this neighborhood. Now I've heard it all. So the two gentlemen who are upset, both arrested. You saw that, right? Both arrested. It looks like cancel culture is swinging in big time. Can't find where they work anymore. They may both have lost their jobs. We're not sure. And the victim, the news is calling him the victim, Jermaine Jones. Now, I thought of something, and when the mother said, you know, how she reacted, if this young man had been shot and killed by, say, a person of color, nobody would care. But since he was yelled at by white men, it's a pretty significant story. Newspapers all over the country are covering this. I would prefer him to be alive, wouldn't you? Interesting. Interesting how this is noteworthy. White men yelled at him, and everyone's losing their minds. But if he were killed by a person of color, there would be no outrage. There's something fundamentally wrong with that, isn't there? The New York Times, by the way, driving so much of the negativity and just the whole warped nature of our culture right now. Here's an example. The assassination plot uncovered against Justice Kavanaugh. For more on that, turn to page A20. That's called burying something in the newspaper. They have all kinds of peculiar articles and habits over there. Oh, this is a recent piece. Is it ethical to have children amid the climate crisis? Is it ethical to have children right now? I wonder. Well, I wonder who the hell would authorize this kind of coverage. Well, here's the guy. He's newly in charge, the top editor, and that might give you just the picture. I'm sorry, just the picture alone might give you some idea of why that place is so crazy. Who does this? Who lets a magazine photographer come in and take a picture of him like this on the floor? Can I see him eating breakfast one more time? I mean, that's pretty, everyone's laid back during breakfast. Not him. Looks like a potential assassin. I'm sorry. I know he's not going to kill anybody, but keep an eye on him nonetheless. All right. So we got a crazy paper, the New York Times, that is driving so much of the left's agenda. And we have a crazy network that does the same thing, MSNBC. They call themselves a news network. Well, we got this from their actual programming. This is what they call news. Listen.
How do we get our hair and makeup together? Back in the news business, your beautiful hair would not have been allowed, even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I went renegade last year and started wearing every kind of braid style that you could possibly do. Every single one of our businesses, we've had to deal with our hair being fried, falling out of our head.
yeah.
To somebody who didn't know how to do us, couldn't sit in the thing. We couldn't have a black hair and makeup team.
Foundations 2 shades lighter, darker,
ashy.
right.
That's not good television, all right? Everybody has their complaints, but they put it all on TV. There's more, though, and it gets weirder.
The things that we have to battle through sometimes, it's like trying to hold your little candle against like the winds of the ocean. And I felt that way sometimes coming up in sports because, like you said, it's very white male dominated. A lot of times they simply don't want you there. And I've been on both sides of it where I've worked really hard to get to, the NBA finals. And I've had a white woman raise her hand and say, you only got the job because you're black.
She worked really hard. Welcome to the world. Oh, boy, white male dominated. So terrible. What else? Hey, affirmative action. I actually think you got there on the merits, ma'am, but nobody likes affirmative action, all right? And I wouldn't be surprised if people make that observation from time to time, fairly or unfairly. What happened next?
And it is incredible the way that we're breaking in, right? I mean, I'm thinking about you, sister. I mean, there is nothing whiter and maler than the comedy world.
Yeah, correct.
It's a lonely, lonely world to be a black woman there.
Yeah.
Whiter and maler than the comedy world. The two biggest comedians in the world are Kevin Hart, I believe, and Dave Chappelle. What are they talking about? More.
I wear this hair for a reason. It makes white supremacists so damn mad. Listen, they don't think somebody like this should work at the New York Times or be on television. And every time I go and speak at a college, when black girls are like, I didn't know I could be successful and wear my hair how I wanted. What other race of people? Is it okay to say the way your hair grows out of your head is offensive to me?
Yeah.
Your hair, is that how it grows out of her hair? Who knows? Who cares, by the way? Who cares? Next.
I just want to get rid of all the layers and just see who I am and who I can function as on camera. And I think I had always been prepping myself and making myself up for the white male gaze, because that's what sports is. That's what, if you're covering football, the expectation is. So I'm thinking my hair has to be long, it has to be down to here. And one day I showed up and was like, no, I'm about to do the Winter Olympics and I'm going to cut all my hair off and it's going to be razored on the side and whatever's there will be there and whatever's not is not going to show up on camera. But it was scary. To bear your whole self on camera and be a black woman is scary.
Scary. Well, I mean, she's in television. Scary. By the way, she makes several $1 million a year. That's Maria Taylor. There was recently a bidding war for her services. She's done well in this industry she seems to hate, with all those white males around. What a shame. Next.
My husband has access to tools to defeat racism and to disarm white people and white supremacy that I simply don't have.
Yeah.
I do not have access. And if I try to pick up his tools, they have a very different outcome than he has.
I don't know what she's talking about, but I do know this. All of those women are fairly accomplished, well-accomplished women. But boy, oh boy, are they bitter about it. And I think they thought that it should have come a lot easier. Life's a struggle for everybody.